Alright, we're not too far away from finishing this fork, and kind of doing what I call the tying shine, almost like you're shining shoes, and you're just gently working on these gaps between the tines of the fork. And at this point in time, it really depends upon just how much refinement you want to do to it. Do you want to still have some of those marks that show this thing was truly handmade by some dude in the old shed? But just a little lump of wood that I kept on there for handling purpose. I'm going to cut it off here very shortly, and maybe break out the this is a heavier sandpaper. I'm going to break out the a finer grit, but I don't think I'm going to push these tines too much further. I'm going to break them. Then I'm going to dust it off, let it dry for a day or two. Then we're going to put some olive oil on it. Alright, man, let's do a little work. Yeah, the old time shine. I don't want to push them too hard, man. I don't want to break it. It's been a few, well, more than a few years since I've done something like this. Alright. What do y'all think? Maybe a little bit more pointier? Or is that good enough? Alright, this is the back side, and you can clearly see some of the marks that I have made cutting and scraping. And I'm thinking I might want to let them stay there. You know, just kind of shows that it was done by hand. And I don't want to push it too much further. Break it. You can see the original score marks where I brought it down to that black line in part 1 of the video series. And we'll probably bring it down a little bit more, maybe. Just a little bit. Then we'll break out that real fine grit paper. Alright. Let's bring it up a little closer, so you can see the me taking off this end. There it comes. Slow, easy pencil. Oh yeah, it's already come out now. I'm not putting much downward pressure on it, otherwise this would already come off. It was just alright. Okay. I think I'll probably round the edges off there. Still raining outside. You can probably hear the pitter patter. Just easy, light strokes now, because we don't put too much pressure down on things. And yeah, I think it needs to come down a little bit over here. It's just a little high compared to this side right here. The temperature here has gotten very, very warm. It's in the 60s Fahrenheit, and the whole week is supposed to be about like this. I mean, a week and a half ago it was like 12 degrees Fahrenheit, and the river, the ocean froze over. Salt water froze over. We're in the brief time part. This happens almost every year in Southeast Virginia. It just gets cold and then it gets warm, almost spring type warm. And then the bottom will drop out in the middle of January, and that's when if we're going to get a snow, that'll be when it happens. Somewhere between the 15th January and 15th of February. All right, let's do some moving around here. As usually goes, light strokes. Still a heavier grit sandpaper, but we'll switch to a lighter grit here shortly. Our next project, we're going to make a big old spoon, almost kind of like a ladle. Let me get that hunk of wood. Of course, it has to dry out some, and there we go. Nice color to it. This will take some time for it to dry, that's alright. Like I said, man, I'm really thinking that the better look, the neater look is to keep some of these score marks, and makes it look like some effort was put into it to make this. And tines, I mean, they got a little sharpness to them. I mean, I can really bring them down, but I don't want to push it too hard and break it. Alright, this is size comparison to the fork that this was designed on. The original is a little bit bigger, and it's got a hole up there, and obviously the tines of a manufactured fork. In this particular case, it is a U.S. military type fork. We're going to kind of work on a little bit more, and I don't want to bring it down too much. I kind of like the marks of where I was doing some carving and all that and scraping. I say we're getting right close to it. We'll stick it in our little hole here. What do you think? I think it's going to look really nice once you get it dusted off and put some olive oil on there. Alright, we're going to finish up with the CW3000 electro-coated abrasive paper. It's a really fine grained. And give our spoon a real light going over, and then we'll dust it up, let it sit for, I don't know, a day or so. I don't know if there's any moisture in it, but we'll make sure. And then we'll put the olive oil on it. And knock down any of the rough spots. Alright, that's as far as I'm going to take it. And we'll let her dust it off and let it absolutely positively dry, which I'm sure it is, but we'll just push it. That's the back side. It's got some really nice wood colors in it. Look at that. You see it? It's gonna really look pretty once we get that olive oil on it. That fine grit paper, man, really almost gave it like a smooth sheen to it. Really cool. Alright, everybody. See you in a little bit. Alright. Almost time to put some olive oil on it. Pattern looks really good. You agree, Bird? And this is the original fork that it was designed after. Definitely some differences, but I like it. Alright, we've come in the house now. It's gotten quite cold out there, and I think this is about as far as I'm going to take this fork. We got some beeswax, and we also have some olive oil, and we're going to make a little combination of that, both, and see what it does to the, bring out the lines in the wood and all that. Alright, we're just going to take our beeswax and rub it. I've seen some people where they melt it and they mix them together, and so we're just going to kind of just kind of give it a good wipe on there. Yeah, you can definitely feel a nice sheen on there. It's going to be the olive oil that's going to bring out the colors in the wood. Alright. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to wipe it all up in there. Oh yeah, feels good. Alright, let's go get us some olive oil. We're just using regular old extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to smear it in this thing, and I'll put some on a paper towel. And take our fork. And this stuff will dry, man, just like a varnish or anything else. And that's why I brought it in the house, because it's gotten quite cold outside in the shed. Alright, then we'll do our little trick there where we run it in the tines of the fork. Oh yeah. Alright, we'll just keep on smearing it around our little fork here. It's really changed the color of it, isn't it? Yeah, it's gonna be really noticeable here when it gets lighter. Look at that, that's pretty. Beautiful. Wow, really turned out nice. We'll let it dry and see what it looks like in the morning. Alright everybody, see you in a little bit. Alright, the olive oil and beeswax has dried. And give you a good look. It really brought out the markings of the wood and the various marks of where I did some cuts and stuff, and really pretty, man. Sides, back. Yeah, very nice. Alright, wood carved fork, just with hand tools. Finished with the beeswax and olive oil. I'm gonna let it dry for, oh no, I guess another few hours, but man, it's dry now, but let it really soak in good and proper. Alright everybody, thanks for watching. Dave out.